Hello and welcome to a new episode of Europeans Watching American Racing. My name is André Wiegold, I'm from Germany, and with me, my co-host from Italy, Gianluca Guiglia.
Hello everyone and welcome to the newest episode of Europeans Watching American Racing. Let's get started.
We start with the NASCAR Series because we had the race weekend at Phoenix Raceway in Arizona last weekend. And before we come to some NASCAR news, let's go through the races, and we start with the NASCAR Xfinity race. First thing, we have a bad message. Loris Hesemans, the two-time European NASCAR champion, did not qualify. He was P40 after the qualifying, and therefore he was not on the grid.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he had a problem with another car ahead of him that apparently slowed him down, but he will try again. It's recent news. He is in the entry list for this weekend race at Atlanta. It's not going to be easy again because Atlanta is now raced. They race there with a super speedway package. There are 43 cars vying for 38 spots, and apparently rain is coming. So,
Oh no, you said rain is coming?
yeah.
I have to
forecast.
commentate the Cup race on Sunday in German television, so
Oh.
maybe I get back home on Tuesday. Okay.
Yes.
All right. This
Boy.
man, I woke up this morning. It was a good day until now. Thank you so much.
No, but from what I read, the forecast is not so good for practice. So that's for Friday. Hopefully, I really hope for you that Sunday is okay.
Thank you so much. We will see. We will see. At the moment, we had a good luck with the races. So yeah, there will always be the first rain delay. So it's going to happen. Let's start with the Xfinity race. We have the green flag, of course, and then on lap 23, Riley Herbst spun first caution in turn 3-4, and it seemed like after the hit into the wall, he hurt his back a little bit. So he was not 100% fine after climbing out of the car, but I heard nothing major or serious afterwards.
That's good to know. It looked a little bit bad, and I noticed that after that the team put some scuffed tires, some old tires actually. They had a lot of laps on them to save tires for the last stage. So it was quite difficult for him to come back, at least at the beginning of the race.
So then, stage 1, it was a drag race to the line with Trevor Bayne winning ahead of Noah Gragson with a margin of 0.060 seconds. It was, just a centimeter deciding the first stage. Brandon Jones was third ahead of John Hunter Nemechek and Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs, he spun on lap 55 in stage 2 after a contact with Josh Berry. And that was the only incident in the second stage. That was won by Noah Gragson ahead of Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Trevor Bayne, and Josh Berry. And then we had a long green flag run until 3 laps to go. Brandon Jones, we had a long green flag run, and then it got serious at the end when Brandon Jones was trying to chase down Gragson. But in the end, they were already separated by 2.5 seconds. So it was a tough task. And in the end, no one was able to beat Noah Gragson that day. He won ahead of Jones, Berry, Bayne, Nemechek, Gibbs, Allmendinger, Daniel Hemrick, Landon Cassill, and Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, and well, man, if this is what you can expect from Noah Gragson for the final race of the season, well, everybody else is better find countermeasures for that.
Yeah.
Because he was unbeatable.
Yes. We had 16 lead changes among 6 drivers within the race, and now there's a very interesting statistic. Noah Gragson is the first race car driver, Xfinity driver, to start the season with 4 top 3 results since Elliott Sadler in 2012. And now, the interesting part, both did it with the same crew chief, Luke Lambert, who came to Noah Gragson now. He did it with Elliott Sadler. He did it now with Noah Gragson. And another interesting point, both won the race at Phoenix.
Wow. NJR Motorsport is on fire.
Yeah, Noah Gragson so far, 3rd place at Daytona, 2nd at Fontana, and Las Vegas, and the win at Phoenix. So this guy is clearly leading the overall points standings ahead of Ty Gibbs and Justin Allgaier. Then we have AJ Allmendinger ahead of Josh Berry, Daniel Hemrick, Brandon Jones, Ryan Sieg, Sam Mayer, and Riley Herbst. Those are our top 10 after 4 races in the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity season.
But of course, Austin Hill has one race win that places him up there with a guaranteed place in the playoffs. Speaking of countermeasures, Colleague Racing did something interesting. Did you notice that? They said they were at the track with 3 different setups for the 3 cars, just to understand what could work better for the future.
Interesting.
That's
Yep.
Yeah, that's a long-term play. That meant AJ Allmendinger in the end was the best driver there. He finished 7th, I think. Yes. And also, I noticed John Hunter Nemechek's performance is not eligible for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. His main championship is the Truck Series this year, but he's really helping the team. Sam Hunt Racing is doing very well in his hands.
Yeah. That's the Xfinity race. I think you want to go to a even lower class, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The ARCA series. They raced on Friday. It finished in overtime. They did 154 laps instead of 150. But the big news there is that Taylor Gray won it. Taylor Gray is Tanner Gray's brother. He's very young, 17 years old, and he won after the team's truck driver Steven Stotts lost his life in a road accident a few days ago. So, well, that was really emotional. It's great for them to honor Stott's memory with a big win. Yeah.
Let's go to the Cup Series. We had Ryan Blaney starting from pole, and 3 guys going back at the end of the field due to different reasons. Kyle Larson, they had to switch an ignition switch, unimproved adjustments. Harrison Burton, gearbox of problems, also to the rear end. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., they changed the engine. Of course, I think this is something we have to get used to in this year, even if we have practice and qualifying. We had a competition caution on lap 25, and until there, we saw Ryan Blaney absolutely dominating the race. And then we had 4 speeding penalties. Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, who was second, Michael McDowell, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And Ryan Blaney was 0.1 miles per hour, so 0.16 kilometers per hour over the limit.
Crazy.
Of course,
crazy.
Of course, they have already a tolerance of 5 miles per hour, I think. But then it was 5.1.
Yeah. But did you see after that, Ryan was the only one who cut through the field very quickly and recovered several positions very, very quickly. Denny Hamlin got stuck. So Ryan Blaney had a fantastic car.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, until lap 46, there was the next caution. Corey LaJoie lost the tire, and we saw the central lug nut lying on the asphalt. And Cody Ware in the 51, he hit that tire that went off, so he had front damage on his car. But we had some problems with the central lug nut.
Yeah, I didn't understand if it came off when he hit the wall or he hit the wall because it came off.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I think the first one, it came off after the contact, but that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It's not exactly great to have a car stuck there without a wheel.
After that, Stage 1 ended with William Byron collecting his 9th career stage win, first in 2022 and his first ever at Phoenix ahead of Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, and Alex Bowman. Interesting note, at that moment, Hendrick Motorsports tweeted that it was the 28th consecutive race that the team led the field.
Wow. Speaking of powerhouses,
Yeah. And
crazy.
and then, yeah, we had the restart. Blaney, who stayed out, he was not on the pit, was back at the front. And then something turned into the spotlight in the broadcasting, and this is something I want to talk about with you. Um, Shifting. Shifting is back,
Yeah.
and we saw it at Phoenix, and we had several strategies. And there was one tweet, I don't know who tweeted it at the moment, but there was somebody, a spotter, telling another driver, 4 is shifting, so Kevin Harvick is shifting at turn 3, 4, and at the end of the start-finish straight. Then we had the number 9 car, Chase Elliott. He's shifting on both straights. And then we had the number 1 car, Ross Chastain, not shifting at all.
It really, I think it really depends on the setup of the car. It helps, of course, having higher revs. It can help with traction, especially with traction from center to exit of the corner. But it's great to see people experimenting.
Yes, and during the broadcast, I was doing my Twitter live updates, and a German fan asked me if the gear ratio is fixed for the cars or if the teams can use different gear ratios. We talked about that in that moment, but I also sent a message to Loris Hesemans
hmm
because he
hmm
was at Phoenix and his father is owning a Cup Series team. And we know that Loris is 100% dedicated. He knows exactly what's going on in the car. So he immediately answered my message and he said, yeah, it's fixed for each track. Of course, NASCAR has different gear ratios for different tracks, but it's fixed, so you cannot choose different gear ratios. I was 99% sure, but I wanted to make sure to not tell something stupid about the next gen car because you never exactly know what changed. So
yeah. So what they do is going to the track with a package and with a final gear ratio and some options for the drop gears for the other gears. And when it's finalized, it's that package for everyone. So they are really doing something different with the same stuff.
yep, this is the interesting part because then a new strategy factor came into play because the spotters were not only telling their drivers braking points, lines, what's going on around them or what's going around in the field. They were also telling them, okay, this guy is doing this, he shifts there, and also the exact moment when they shift. So the spotters really had a lot more work to do. And I remember Matt Collick telling us before the season, there may be shifting in the NASCAR Cup Series on several ovals. So I'm really looking forward to that because if this is going to be a strategy point that divides the best driver from the good driver, I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if everyone will converge if they all will converge towards the most, how do you say, quality solution,
Yeah.
or if it's driver preferences. If the driver can make it up with his own driving style.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it.
Put the gear ratios exactly at the edge so they have to choose.
Yes.
This would be my solution to
But
spice it a little bit up.
man, at some point the broadcast focused on Kevin Harvick, and during that stage, and I always find it incredible how he drives at Phoenix, man.
Yeah.
He lifts before the start finish line. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the Cactus King. But the little spoiler, he did not manage to score his 10th Phoenix win.
No, but it was a beauty to watch.
Yeah. We had a caution in stage 2 because Christopher Bell spun on the back straight, and then of course we had some cars in the pit stalls, and there was a malfunction with fueling on Danny Hamlin's car. He made it to the end of stage 2. That was, somehow not 100% sure, but Hamlin had some problems there. And stage 2 ended with Ryan Blaney winning ahead of Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, William Byron, and Kyle Larson, who came from the back of the grid to 5th at the end of stage 2.
Chase Elliott stayed out front for a good number of laps until 40 laps to the end, around 40 laps to the end of the stage, but he really couldn't keep Blaney at bay.
Yeah.
Blaney was much, much better.
Lap 220, hard hit for Martin Truex Jr. into the wall. I don't know 100% what happened there. If it was a flat tire, it looked very suspicious.
Yeah. Yep, it looked like really looked like a flat tire. He went suddenly straight into the wall. There was a little bit of a correction. I don't know if it was if he was trying to save it, but he went straight into the wall. So,
Yeah. Just 20 laps later, our current NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Larson was out of the race due to a broken valve spring, so he had to go to the garage. 25 laps to go. Eric Jones triggered another caution. He spun out at turn 2. And then we had the last caution triggered by Chase Elliott, and we had a fantastic final at that race. That was won by... John?
Haha. Chase Briscoe. Man, that 14 car. It's good to see it back in victory lane. Chase Briscoe ahead of Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick. What a battle, man.
Yes. Ryan Blaney was 4th ahead of Kurt Busch. Very interesting. 23 XI Racing with a solid result. Then Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, and Chris Buescher. Chase Briscoe, he's the, I think, 200th driver to enter his name in the Cup Series winning list. Yes. And we know what happened last year when he won the race at Darlington after he and his wife Marissa lost their unborn child. How much emotion there was in that race. And now, again, he told us after the race that he had tears in his eyes in the last lap, bringing back that 14 car to victory lane, scoring the first NASCAR Cup Series win when he thought maybe I should give up at some point in his career, and now he's locked into the playoffs.
At some point at some point he was literally sweeping floors and volunteering and for teams and trying so hard to enter the sport. It's so good to see a success story like his one, and he's driving his idol's cars. Because he's a great Tony Stewart fan, and it's just so good. It's such a good story. But man, the battle, that restart that restart was really a tight one. He managed to keep everyone at bay from the inside, and delivered a very special win. But Chastain and Reddick, they were there, and we will see them in victory lane very soon.
When will the watermelon be crushed? 100% in 2022.
Yes,
I would bet money on that.
yeah, definitely. And it's so good to see those new faces at the front.
Yeah,
of course.
Let's go to some NASCAR news. I think we have the races in the books. So there's a new team coming, Team Stange. And the driver is the former Formula One Minardi driver Tarso Marquez from Brazil. They want to field the 79 Ford Mustang, who's going to be driven by that is going to be driven by the 46-year-old 24 F1 starts, champ car experience. Okay, the driver is okay. And they have a token sponsor. And I read somewhere that this sponsor paid this sponsor money in that token. The news is from motorsport.com, and they want to do a part-time schedule with some road courses, some ovals. I like new teams coming in, 100% for it. But in that case, with the token stuff and things like that, I believe it when the car is on track. To be honest, no discredibility. I know the team is 100% professional, and of course, Tasso Marquez is 100% professional. But I want to see the car on track first.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's great. It's a great opportunity with the next gen car. I really hope they make it.
Yep.
One thing, man, we didn't mention about the race.
Yeah.
Kevin Harvick accomplished an historic feat because he reached his 18th top 10 consecutive top 10 at the same track. Something only Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt did previously. So Kevin Harvick is Phoenix.
Definitely. Next week, we have all three National Series back in action with the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway with the Super Speedway package. You told that already. So we have no 670 HP, but 510 horsepowers.
Mm-hmm.
We have the high downforce package, not the low downforce package. This is going to be interesting. The track is narrower.
Mm-hmm.
The track has new asphalt and a new banking. And it was tested, I think, on iRacing.
And it's going to rain for practice.
Yeah. So this is going to be a very interesting thing. So for all the listeners and our followers from Germany, I'm going to commentate that race together with Pete Fink. So on Motorvision TV. So I'm going to be back in action as a commentator, NASCAR Cup Series commentator, next Sunday.
When does it start?
I think at 8 around 8 German time.
Yeah, I remember there's we made a mistake last week. There was the daylight saving time switch in the US this week, so Phoenix started 1 hour earlier compared to the usual time.
No. I in my calendar, it's all 100% in the right timing. I set around 8, and it started at 8:40. But the broadcasting started at 8.
I made a mistake. I made a mistake because I'm sure I was convinced it was at 9 as usual. Nope, 8. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Mate, did you notice? Did you see the? Steve O'Donnell and Ben Kennedy were promoted inside the NASCAR management, and Steve O'Donnell said something very interesting about electric NASCAR racing. Well, he said, of course. First, Steve O'Donnell has been promoted, and it will take care of the development, future developments of NASCAR at a higher level. And he said that they are open, they are surely thinking about electric cars and building an exhibition, at least at the beginning, NASCAR series with electric cars. But the main point is, he said, and I quote, "For us, the race has to be entertaining. Our fans, they love noise, they love the sound, the feel of racing. So if we're going to get into the electric space, I promise you it will be entertaining, and it will be something that fits into our portfolio and something our fans will be proud of." So I always thought that oval racing may be really the ideal space to develop electric car racing. And I'm really looking forward to NASCAR experimenting on this.
And I think Steve Phelps already told in the past that there's not going to be a full electric NASCAR Cup Series in the near future. So he said, okay, if we're doing something, we're doing it as an exhibition race, something to have fun, to try something out. No problem on my side. Add some action on the track when normally there would be no action. Fine for me. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Go for it, 100%. Do you have anything to add for NASCAR?
Nope. No, nope. I have nothing more on NASCAR, and I'm looking forward to Atlanta, where well, yes. One note from the week: there will probably be the double yellow line rule because it's now treated as a super speedway. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, okay. So what do we go to?
NHRA.
NHRA
Where did they race last weekend?
Gainesville, Florida, the Gatornationals.
Again,
So
Florida. I have a question there. We know that
yes,
NASCAR Cup Series and NASCAR in general is a southern state sport. Of course, we have some racetracks around the whole country now, but it's based, especially North Carolina. Um, but how does it look like in the NHRA? We have drag strips also only in the south, or do we have them all over the place in the US?
well, they are a little bit all over the place. There's a strong presence in the West Coast, and of course on the East Coast as well. But the heart of NHRA is in Indianapolis,
Okay.
where they have the U.S. Nationals, the most important race of the season. Uh,
I'm the one asking the questions about NHRA because I want to learn, and this is something because I think we were at Arizona. We know we're in Florida. The season opener was where?
in Pomona, California.
California. So it was
And
all.
Pomona also hosts the final race of the season.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
go back and forth, and return to the west for the final.
Okay. So what happened
And
there? What happened in Florida?
ooh, well, we had a pretty eventful weekend. Um, Qualifying was interrupted by rain, so we had several big names missing a spot in top fuel, namely Leah Pruitt, Sean Langdon, and Antron Brown. Uh, but the race went to a first-time winner, Trip Tatum, uh, and he won his first ever Wally. Wally is the name of the trophy. He won it with a passage in 3.7 seconds at 330.31 miles per hour against Doug Foley. And he won his first career race at 51 years of age. Can you imagine that? That's super cool.
I still have some time to win races. Okay.
Yep. And he knocked out Lex June, Billy Torrance, and points leader Mike Salinas to reach the final round. Well, in top fuel, it was a first time winner, and it was a first time finalist to win the race. Sorry, to it was a first time finalist to finish runner up.
Yeah.
So Mike Salinas leads the points ahead of Justin Haley, Steve Torrance, Brittany Force, and Clay Millican. Uh, in funny car, well, Tony Stewart won the Cup race with Chase Briscoe. Tony Stewart Racing won the funny car race with Matt Hagan, first win in NHRA for Tony Stewart's team, who was at Gainesville to celebrate with Matt Hagan. Second final of the season for Matt Hagan, and he won in 3.910 seconds at 330.96 miles per hour against Blake Alexander. 40th career win for Matt Hagan, the first ever for him at Gainesville. So Matt Hagan put the end word to Robert Height's streak, and is now second in points behind the John Force Racing driver. Um, then we had the most interesting stuff for me happened in Pro Stock and Pro Stock motorcycle, because Pro Stock we had the quickest run ever in history in a Pro Stock car thanks to Erika Enders. She went 6.45 seconds and at 213.57 miles per hour. Now, NHRA is a thousands of a second sport. So going from 6.5 seconds to 6.4 seconds, it's something historic. The previous record was set in 2015.
Oh,
Can you imagine that?
wow.
Yep. And despite all the rule changes, sometimes they try to slow down the cars or they make changes to optimize costs and stuff like that, and, and then they very quickly make it up. Can you imagine gaining 5 thousandths of a second and considering it the best achievement in history?
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, you have a very short track. It's all about speed. It's all about the acceleration. So yeah, every thousandths of a second counts, and it separates the losers from the winners. And going into a new tenth or something like this, it's amazing because there is not a lot of room to improve. So
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
it's amazing. And you know what? She did the quickest run in Pro Stock history and she lost. Yes, because she lost it to her teammate Bob Butner. Now, how does it work? Um, the the race is won by getting to the finish line first. It's not the quickest time winning; it's getting to the finish line. So, her reaction time at the start when the lights turned green was lower than Bob Butner's. So he earned an advantage at the start, and she couldn't make it up despite the quickest run in history. that's that's incredible. So she did it and she lost.
So the overall time of her was longer
Yes,
than of the opponent, but when we just count the
from
race,
start
yeah,
line to finish line,
then she was the
it was
quickest in history.
yes,
Amazing.
yeah. It's so cool. The race was won in the end by Dallas Glenn, reigning NHRA Rookie of the Year for Pro Stock category, and he beat his KB Racing teammate Kyle Koretsky in the final with a 6.486 at seconds run at 210.21 miles per hour. Fourth career win, first of the season. The point standings, Aaron Stanfield is still leading the points with 285 ahead of Erika Enders, Kyle Koretsky, Dallas Glenn, and Mason McGea. But we are just at the beginning of the season. This is just the start of the fun. Um, Motorcycles. So we said, can you imagine running that kind of racing, doing that kind of racing with a motorbike? Well, the final the Pro Stock Motorcycle final was an all-women final. So Karen Stoffer had one of the most impressive weekends in Pro Stock Motorcycle history. After Gainesville, she holds the best three runs in categories history because she established a record and beat it and then beat it. So she went in the end. She went. Her best run was 6.665 seconds at 200.71 miles per hour. That she is the first racer in Pro Stock Motorcycle to go below 6.7 seconds. Amazing. And she defeated Angie Smith in the final round. This is Karen Stoffer's 11th career win, and she's now leading the points of course, ahead of Angie Smith, Joy Gladstone, Jerry Savoy, and Lance Bonham. Next up for NHRA, April 1st, Las Vegas, and we go 4 wide.
For white. This is something I really have to take a look at because I've never seen that before. I thought I saw everything, but this is something completely new for me. By the way, if you want to have results, if you want to have the newest quotes from drivers, team owners, and yeah, from the series, if you want to have the breaking news, we set up a new stuff for social media. So take a look on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter. Look for Europeans watching American racing or short EWA Racing, EVA Racing with the hashtag or with the tag handle. You will find us on social media. We set up a graphic for race results. We have something for very important quotes over the week and breaking news. So we're not just going to talk about American racing, we're going to write about it too. We will filter a little bit just the most important stuff, and you will get it on social media. Make sure to follow on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter your preferred one to get all the information. So this is not only going to be a podcast, but also a little bit of a news page. So make sure to follow us to miss not any of those things. I think today, again, because we had no action on track, we can sum up IndyCar and IMSA in one chapter, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's start with IndyCar because I have only one thing from motorsport.com. J.R. Hildebrand joins AJ Foyt racing in the 11 car for all oval races because Tatiana Calderon is only doing street and road courses. This is the only important news I found from this week.
In case you missed it, they held a test at Texas. Scott McLaughlin was the quickest driver on track. I also have one thing. There's a little bit of a problem at Texas with the PJ1 NASCAR asked to put on the outside lane. So when NASCAR is in town at Texas, they use a chemical compound to make the outside lane a little bit more sticky.
The sticky stuff, yeah.
Exactly. To create two lines around the track. Well, it doesn't suit IndyCar very well. So the options are there. They are evaluating. I don't know yet what they will choose, but the options are wash out with a chemical compound, this chemical compound. Grate it with something with a steel tool to try to shave it away from the track. Or that's the most viable solution, give drivers additional practice time to experiment with that outside lane. If it doesn't work, what do we see on the track? A single line race?
Yeah, that's it. We saw it in the past with oval tracks in IndyCar with the PJ1. They had grip beside the PJ1, but when they touched it with one or two tires, with the outside tires, for example, they spun or they lost groove. That was, awful. You cannot use it with the NASCAR cars, very heavier, less downforce, different tires, and then a different series comes there, and it's completely different. You cannot use the PJ1 for IndyCar races. It's hard and tough situation because you want an amazing NASCAR race and you want an amazing IndyCar race. I don't know the solution.
Me neither. And I wonder if this is relating to NASCAR using a different product at other tracks. So they switched to a different compound they call resin, and I wonder if that's better for other categories. But if they don't find a solution, I really see it difficult for our for us fans, because it's gonna be a tough race, man.
On the other hand, my question is, if you need, I don't care for what series, if you need something like PJ1, is the track designed in the right way?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And remember at Texas they did some work on the track recently, who seems not to have paid off that well. I really hope for them. I love the track. I love how they promote the events because they are fantastic. I really hope they solve this problem.
Yep. We will see. We will see. The next race, you said it, is at Texas Motor Speedway on March 20th. It's the famous clash with the 12 hours of Sebring that I'm going to commentate as well. So I have a doubleheader weekend ahead of me. I'm going to go to Munich into the studio on Saturday. I'm going to commentate the 12 hours of Sebring. I think 6 of them, 6 hours. And then I'm going to bed, wake up, go back to the studio doing the NASCAR race. I hope for no rain delay, and I go back on Monday. And then I have 1,200 kilometers on my car. So I have
And
my
then you talk with us
yeah.
on
On
Tuesday.
Tuesday, I'm going to be back to talk about all the stuff with you. Yes. Um,
Oh
IMSA,
man.
IMSA. We have the clash. Therefore, a lot of IndyCar drivers
Yep.
stick with IndyCar. They stay there, and the IMSA teams needed to find some replacement. And there's another guy who needed replacement, and this is a big news around the motorsports world. Kevin Magnussen back in Formula One with Haas F1 Racing. F1 is again German. Sometimes I don't know why I cannot say the one and eins. Neil Yanni is going to replace Kevin Magnussen in the Ganassi Cadillac DPI for Sebring. And
Mhm.
Magnussen also was released from his contract at Peugeot because he wanted to develop the hypercar program with the French manufacturer. They issued a statement that was like a little bit, yeah, go away. We don't want to deal with you anymore, because I think they were not happy him leaving for Formula One. But in the
Yeah.
end, they did not throw a stick between his legs. So they let him go, and he's back in the Formula One. But because of that, also IMSA is affected. Neil Yanni is going to replace him in the Ganassi Cadillac. Damn it.
Uh, and Yanni is an exceptional endurance racer.
Yeah.
But you see, when Formula One calls, doesn't matter the level because he's not winning races there,
Ah,
of course.
um,
But
back to IndyCar. You have heard the thing with Colton Herta and McLaren?
yeah, yeah, he's now part of the program. Ah, but what did he say? Because I read the news, but I didn't read any comment from Colton.
Me neither. I just read the news that he's in the program. I'm curious what Pato Award has to say about that. Because he wants to go to Formula One as well, and he's already a McLaren driver. Colton Herta is not.
But I think Herta. I think I read a tweet somewhere that Herta said he's gonna focus on IndyCar for now. Of course, that's his priority. But you see, when Formula One calls,
Yep,
everyone runs.
yep,
Um, well, I can really understand for sure. That's the goal for it's the final goal for a lot of drivers. See, yep, it doesn't matter the level.
yeah. It's a top tier class. If you like it or not, it is. It's a
Yeah,
fact. It's a fact.
yes,
Okay, and
absolutely.
another driver switch. Marvin Dienst is going to join Winward in the Mercedes. In the Mercedes, this is the right pronunciation, Mercedes. Due
And
to
and
yeah,
and sorry, man. And for Porsche, what I call Porsche, it's Porsche, correct?
Porsche. Yeah,
Porsche.
Porsche. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Marvin Dienst, he's going to replace Michael Grenier. The 29-year-old was promoted as a Mercedes junior driver, and that therefore the FEI ranked him gold. So Marvin Dienst is going to drive the car, and Michael Grenier, yeah, different driver ranking. They have to take a look what's going on there. Then we have Scott Andrews, who's going to going to make his Lexus GT3 debut with Wes Sullivan,
Hmm.
because now interesting, Kyle Kirkwood has to race IndyCar. Therefore, Aaron Telitz is going from the GTD to the GTD Pro, and therefore they needed a new driver for the GTD, and that's Scott Andrews.
Okay. Whoa.
He's going to
Great.
join Frankie Montecalvo and Richard Haystand.
Okay, that's cool.
Then
How many cars?
yeah,
Tell me.
yeah, again. So
How many cars on the field this time?
53, something about that. I'm not 100% sure. I read something about 50.
Oh, yeah. It should be 53 with
53, yeah.
7 DPI, 8 LMP2. And I didn't know, man, that LMP2 didn't score points at Daytona. So this is the start of the season
Yep,
for them.
yep.
Ah, that's cool.
So bad news from another German, or bad news, but now we have a different German manufacturer.
Hmm.
Pronunciation Audi. That's easy, I think.
Audi.
Um,
Yes.
the future of the LMDH project is somehow a little bit uncertain now. They said they stopped the program for 2 or 3 months now, and some people around the motorsports world are already thinking that this may be the end of the project. Some others say no, no, they are just delaying it a little bit. There's a delay, and that's it. All my information are coming is coming from Sportscars 365 on the endurance part, and we know there Audi. There's a hold on the program. They want to focus a little bit more on the Dakar program and stuff like that. So the LMDH from Audi may not be ready next year. But on the same side, Porsche uses the same platform. That car is 100% in plan. Everything is fine there. Strange.
And they're running smoothly.
Yeah.
They were the first to test the new standard ERS, so the hybrid component of the LMDH category. The supplier is Bosch,
Yeah.
Bosch Motorsport, and Williams Advanced Engineering, and both the ACO and IMSA collected a lot of data, and everything ran smoothly with the car. So Porsche is doing well.
Yep, Porsche is doing well, but we have to take a look at the Volkswagen concern. We have Audi,
Yeah.
we have Volkswagen, and we have Porsche, and also the talks about supplying Formula One teams with engines and stuff like that, or joining the Formula One again. So there's a lot of things going on, and maybe all this stuff together with the supply problems we have all over the world, all this together may lead to this delay in the Audi program. We will keep you up to date there. I don't want to spread too much rumors because in the end
Yeah.
we don't really know what's going to happen. um Another driver, Matteo Larena, he's a Lamborghini GT3 Junior. He's going to join NTE Sport at Sebring, of course, in a Lamborghini Huracan. Is that right, Lamborghini?
Lamborghini. Correct.
Si.
Good job, man.
Ferrari.
Ferrari,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Perfect.
see,
See?
see, I'm learning a little bit of Italian pronunciation already. And what else do we have? Crucial Motorsports. They confirmed their lineup with McLaren factory driver and team manager Paul Holton, together with John Miller and Patrick Gallagher. That's it on my side from IMSA.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that the report about the ERS standard component was from racer.com, Marshall Pruitt, because it's just right to say
Yep.
who reported it first, because it's insider. It's a breaking news. So yes, I have nothing else. Well, this will be the 70th running of the 12 hours of Sebring. The race will begin at 10:10 a.m. ET on Saturday, March 19th. Um, Man, do you know if we are going to be able to watch from Europe on the IMSA website? I
Yes,
think
yes,
so.
yes, you can. But for the German fans, please join us on Motorvision TV, of course.
Yeah, 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 no,
German,
no,
German commentary. No, no, no. But
of course.
in Germany, it's no problem to watch the live streaming, the official one.
Yeah, but of course, I always go to the national broadcast if possible, because of course it's my language, and if you can join the official broadcast, if you can't, like me in Italy, please, there's an opportunity.
Yeah, and totally legal. So no
That's
geo.
great.
I think there's no geo blocking on there, so
No, no,
everything's fine. Yeah, I think that's a wrap, right?
yeah, that's good. So we look forward. Please leave a comment below and let us know your opinion about what we say about our podcast and about American racing. We will share it. Thank you, race fans, for following.
Thank you so much. See you next week, and join us on social media with all the new stuff we have for you. Goodbye.
Bye.